going on, YouTube? For all those dudes that just subscribed to my channel in the past week or so, man, thank you very much, man, and thanks for listening, and thanks for subscribing to my channel, and especially all the guys that's been with me for a minute, leaving comments and stuff like that. That's what I enjoy the most. Guys leaving comments and leaving their opinions, and I chat up with them, so yeah, man, and then everybody's pretty much on the most part been really respectful, man, so I ain't gonna downplay nobody's opinion, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, moving forward, man, like I said, man, a lot of people watch my prediction videos. That was heated, man. You had a lot of dudes that was supporting Richard Commey. I guess I touched some nerves, man. They were heated, man. They were heated, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and watch that video, man. Just look at the comments. I was going back and forth with some of these guys. It wasn't nothing negative and stuff like that. I didn't go there with them, man. I didn't go there, But, hey, they had every reason. You saw the fight, man. They had every reason to believe that Richard Commey was going to beat Robert Easter. And so, anyway, in my scorecard, man, when I first watched the fight and stuff like that, I had the first 7 rounds going to Easter. But, I spoke to some guys in the YTBC on EJ Boxing Live and Hangout and stuff like that, and they were like, man, you crazy and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I ain't crazy, you know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, my guy won, you know what I'm saying? So, they had Commey winning, man. I think he had Chris and Nauta. I think they was edging it out to Commey. And I was like, nah, man, it ain't happening. The judges saw it the way I saw it. I had my guy winning. So, but anyway, that second round, man, I had to look at it again. I watched the fight again. That second round, that was like a Commey round, man. I looked at it again. That second round was a Commey round. So, the first 4 rounds, man, it was like 4-1 Easter to me. That's 4-1 Easter. And I know a lot of people going to be like, oh, what you talking about? Because, Steve Farhood had it like 2-3 for Richard Commey, right? He had 2-3 for Richard Commey. But I was looking at, some of the jabbing and stuff like that. I wasn't just looking at, Robert Easter coming forward. I mean, Richard Commey, coming forward and stuff like that. Robert Easter, he was banging too. So, I mean, I'd say it could be a swing round or whatever like that. But I gave round number 2 to Richard Commey because he did, I looked at it again, he did better work, you know what I'm saying? But then again, hey, I'm a fan of Robert Easter. I wanted him to win, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it from a different viewpoint. You get what I'm saying? Hey, my bad. I meant to say 3-1. I meant to say 3-1 in the first 4 rounds. So, anyway, moving along, I mean, it was smooth sailing, man, from like the 4th to the 7th. It was all Robert Easter until the 8th. And remember in my video, man, my prediction video, a lot of guys was like, they hit me up, man. You had a lot of Richard Commey fans, man. They hit me up, I think I'm gonna do a video up on that one, man. I'm gonna do a video up on that one. One guy called me was it Kawase or something like that? I guess it's I guess it's like an African saying or something like that for like idiot or something like that, man. But I don't think he listened to the whole video because I was saying, like I said, hey, man, after the 6th, Richard Commey got a good chance to beat Robert Easter, man, because, Richard Commey, he keeps coming forward, man. Robert Easter always got his chin up in the air and stuff like that. And what happened? In the 8th round, old boy got a knockdown, man. It didn't look like his glove touched the canvas, but hey, man, the referees called it. I do not know why we don't have instant replay, but it was a knockdown. So, and anyway, it was such a good shot that you probably could have just, gave the round to Richard Commey, but Robert Easter came back. But at the same time, hey, clean and effective punches. Old boy landed one, got the knockdown. Hey, that's the way to that's the way the fight was scored. Unless you want to score the 9-9, but that wouldn't be fair to Richard Commey, man. That was a good hit. So the ninth round, you can give the Richard Commey, but I scored a draw. The 10th, that was a Richard Commey round. I gave him that round. But you know what? What was weird, man, I'm thinking in Richard Comey's mind, man, he thought he had the fight in the bag. Because it was like the 10th and the 11th that he, when it was like seconds out, not seconds out, but, the 10-second warning, he started coasting, man. He started coasting, and he was boasting, he was dancing. I'm like, oh, man. I looked at that. It was like, you know what? That probably cost him the fight, man. That's why I want to see these official scorecards. I'm thinking that could probably that alone probably cost him the fight, because you remember he's the visitor. You know what I'm saying? He's the dude coming from Ghana and stuff like that, coming into Robert Easter's backyard, because like the commentators had mentioned, dudes fighting in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is what? I think they said 7 hours away. From Toledo, Ohio. And shouts out to Robert Easter's people, man, for being dedicated. Because they came out, man. They showed out everything Robert Easter did. They were yelling and stuff like that. And a 7-hour drive, man, that's like a day's work. You know what I'm saying? That's a day's work. So big ups to anybody that drove 7 hours and that was able to stay up and watch that fight and stuff like that. I'm sure they probably took a nap and like skipped out on some of those undercard fights. But, yeah, man, and he did the same thing in 11. I was like, man, that's not good. And then here comes the 12th round. Hey, man. Hey, what did I say? Robert East, Richard Comey's, he's susceptible to getting hit too. And that's what happened, man. He got hit. He almost got knocked out. But, I think in this fight, both fighters' inexperience showed up, because when Robert Easter had Richard Commey hurt, he smothered his punches, man. He didn't give himself no space, which is kind of weird, man, because when he was going against, what was it, Argenis Mendez? What was that guy's name? Yeah, Argenis Mendez. Looked like he gave himself some space before he knocked him out on the ropes and stuff like that, from what I remember. And he was so excited to get Richard Commey hurt, man. He was just smothering all his punches and stuff like that. Then again, maybe he was tired too, you know what I'm saying? So, in saying that, man, it was something that I had noticed that I'm probably going to bring up another video, but I might as well put it out here right now, man. Commey was really good with that right hand. And one thing I noticed that I didn't mention in the prediction video is that in all of Richard Commey's like fights leading up to the Robert Easter fight, he was really good at getting guys to applying pressure, getting guys to throw punches when they didn't want to, and he countered. He was pretty good at that. So even though with his limited amateur experience and stuff like that, Richard Commey is really good at that. And I'm starting to wonder, with guys that's pretty much coming off the streets and them getting in the boxing ring, as being a counter puncher, more effective for him. Coming forward, countering punches like that, because he was really good at countering Robert Easter like pretty much all night. Especially like landing that right hand. He landed that right hand almost anytime he wanted to. But yeah, both of these guys, man, they flaws showed up. Richard Commey was a little bit wild. Robert Easter was able to get over his looping shots a lot of time. I mean, this dude is like 2 inches taller than Richard Commey, and he was able to get up on a lot of his shots, tie him up when he wanted to. And then Richard Commey, it looked like he didn't use his jab enough. I mean, he had an okay jab. I don't know why he didn't use it to set up a lot of his punches, his offense. But he didn't, man. He let Robert Easter dictate the range with his jab. And I think that's what messed him up, man, because there was a lot of times Robert Easter was pumping out that jab and followed by the right hand. and he got Richard Commey, to back up a few times up on the ropes, with the crowd ooh and ah and ooh ah, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I was doing the same thing. Yeah, Robert Easter was even able to catch Richard Commey with a lot of clean uppercuts and stuff like that. I mean, he was about to knock him out a few times with some clean uppercuts. So, anyway, long story short, hey man, Richard Commey, he needs to work on his footwork and cutting off the ring. Um, and he needs to, learn how to set up his own offense, man. He was really good at countering Robert Easter. He could have done a little bit better, but um, at the end of the day, man, because Antonio Tarver also mentioned it's like, man, if you just, follow up with a left hook after he throws the right, hey, you probably can have Robert Easter out of there. But, at the end of the day, man, it was a great fight, man. There's a warrant, a rematch. I think the scores. From what I've seen, and the fact that it was like an action-packed fight. Both of these guys are big punchers. It was very competitive for 12 rounds. I mean, it was very competitive for 12 rounds. I think it warrants a rematch, man. The scorecards were close. One judge had it 15-12 for Easter. The other judge had it it was like 13-14 for Richard Commey, and another judge had it like 14-13 for Robert Easter. So it was a split decision win. It wasn't like a majority decision win. It wasn't even a close majority decision win. It was like a really tight, split decision win. So you guys let me know what y'all think, man. I appreciate y'all listening.